Run them likes up. Run them likes up. Run them likes up. Hey, oh, you already know what it is. BIWDOW, Chico said to see in the place to be. Back up in this thing once again, the day after the official early signing period has begun. The day before the early signing period will end. And we still have no sign of the big fella, Jordan Seaton. Yes, indeed. Although Colorado has the high school class rank of 98th, and is last in the new 16-team Big 12, in large part due because of the low numbers. However, the Buffs' average player rating is 93.13. That leads the Big 12 and ranks second nationally to Georgia at 93.58. That's not a radio station. That is the ranking. So that lets me know right there that Coach Prime is bringing in quality over quantity. Let me know what you think about that as we check in. Oh, not everybody out there, wherever you're checking in from, internationally or nationally known. This is the BIWDOW, Chico to the C, and the place to be. Shouting out everybody out there, wherever you're listening in from. Shouts out to Midland, Texas, checking in. Skull Buffs in the building. I used to live out there in Odessa and San Angelo, Texas. So shout out to you guys out there in West Texas, getting it in, baby. Get them likes up. Shout out to my dog, Mac ENT. Gucci up in here, DMV up in here, Cindy, Jaguars, DA, oh now, and everybody else up in this thing. We appreciate you checking in. We got 100 people already up in here early. So go ahead and get them likes up one time. San Antonio, sir, awesome work. Much love to you, D. Smith. I appreciate ya. ATL in the building. What's up, T. Nicole? What up, though, Bridget? Maxie in the building. We checking in early morning on my time, midday, I guess, on some other people's time. But I appreciate you taking the time out to tune in to the biggest dog, Chico to the C, and the place to be. Jordan Seaton is the subject, I guess we can say, right now. Shout out to the article done by Buff Zone and Brian Howell. We saw the interview also with Brian Howell and Uncle Neely circulating. That was a pretty good interview that they did. Shout out to them. Skip up early this morning, spitting about Jordan Seaton. Of course, you saw Jordan Seaton come on Undisputed and announce that he was going to Colorado and joining Coach Prime and them in Boulder where it's colder so he can bounce around and get busy out there. And now we're seeing that the guy is a little bit indecisive or a little bit torn, as some people might say. But I would just say indecisive right now. It's a tough decision, dog. You know, a lot of weight on this guy's shoulder. But I think just stick with what your initial thought was. You know what I'm saying? Go with your gut. You know, and he said in the interview I heard that he was doing the recruiting, and now they're recruiting him after his teammates and players or homies and friends and stuff like Boo Carter and them signed with their team in Tennessee. They're now recruiting him. And I think that's a little bit difficult on the big fella. And the reason why is because friends in high school, man, that can hold a lot of people back from making the right decision for them. Let me explain. Reason why I say that is because me, myself, and I, speaking from experience, I chose to go to a school based off of the fact that I knew my friends would have a chance to go to those schools also in a way. You see what I'm saying? I wanted my friends to be there with me, or I wanted to go with my friends' work. But the thing was, I was probably the biggest recruit out of my high school at the time, so I couldn't go. My friends was going, so I tried to get my friends to go where I was going, right? If I had waited another year, we had Ben over Manu coming out. I could have went to school with him. We could have went to Auburn together. But instead, I said, you know what? They offer my friend, and I got 2 other friends that could go to this school too. Let's make it work. And so you start making decisions off of what your friends can do with you and not realizing that, dog, this is a whole different chapter of your life. And your paths might not be parallel. They might not run together at all. They might not, be in sync as far as what you want to do with your life and what I want to do with my life. So you can't be judging and making decisions off of just your friends or what your friend, man, make the decision on what you wanted to do. Who cares what your friends thought about it? Who cares that they're trying to laugh at you or try to make some, man, why you going to Colorado? That ain't going to work. This ain't going to, man, go do what you want to do. Go do what you had in your heart in the first place and go do what you committed and said you was going to do. And that's okay. Jordan Seaton did an interview yesterday. Sounds like a big dude pulled in 10 directions, Steve said. Hard to forget these guys are 18-year-old kids and feel all this pressure to make themselves and others happy with their sole decision. Take your time, Jordan. Would love to have you be a buff. And I'm still on that too. I still think the same thing. I feel the same way. We want to have you as a buff big fella. We know it's a tough decision, and a lot of people and a lot of things are weighing down on you. You know what I'm saying? I like this right here from Bridget. She said, that's why there's parents and other adults with wisdom. Exactly. That should be in his corner, letting him know that this is the direction that you should go if you want to get here. Here's your destination, your preferred destination, and here's how to get there. Here's the GPS tracker and the directions of how to get there. And one way how to get there is to go with someone who's been to where you're trying to go before. Simple, right? Gone are the days where you go grab a physical map. Gone are the days where you pull over the side of the road and say, hey, which way is this way? And they say, oh, you make a left here, you turn there, and you go over yonder, and you hang a right here, and you go there, and boom, you'll get there. Now, those days are gone, dog. You ain't even got to stop and ask nobody. You don't need no outside influences. Look, pull up your phone. All the information is right there. You know what I'm saying? And then pull up your resources. All your resources and information is right there. Call Coach Prime, dog. Well, there's other coaches up here that, man, listen, dog. Those coaches have been to where you're trying to go. Nah, well, we produce talent. Listen, man. You produce talent. That's the old school ways, dog. Everybody been wanting to go to Bama, Georgia, Clemson, Texas A&M, Tennessee for the longest of times. Now, things done changed, like Biggie Smalls said. Texarkana, Texas in the place. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Shouts out to Texarkana. I said that right? Texarkana, Texas and Arkansas. I know about that place. I think I rode through there going to San Angelo, coming from Alabama. Stand on what you were saying on Undisputed, right? A lot of kids nowadays say stand on business. I stand on business, dog. I stand on business. Stand on business, then, big fella. But take your time, though, dog. In all honesty and all, understanding of this situation, dog, take your time. Hopefully you got some adults somewhere in the building, coaches, trainers, advisors, marketing guys, potential agents, you know what I'm saying? Uncles, brothers, mama, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Somebody could be and should be there to advise the young fella. Let me know what y'all got on the super chats, and I'll definitely read your comment on the super chat. Appreciate you and anything of that nature. But are we waiting on him? You think Coach Prime is waiting on him? You think Coach Prime is kind of crossing his fingers and hoping that the big fella make the decision to come be a buff? All the stuff he was saying on the Rich Eisen show, which I'm sure y'all know how he got on there. I think just go ahead and stand on it, big dog. You fine, you're confident. Go there, compete, do your thing in Colorado, dog. And if you don't like it, you can transfer. But then again, we don't want that. You saw what Coach Prime posted today. If I could find it on his Instagram, it was, I'm sure it wasn't to Jordan Seaton, but it could easily be. Let me see. You got to know. No, remember this. Selfish people don't care about you unless you're doing something for them, right? You got to realize that with your friends too, dog. Realize that with your friends too. Selfish people don't care about you unless you're doing something for them. Facts on top of facts on top of facts. Make sure I share this with you guys so y'all can see that also. Run them likes up. All right, can y'all see that? Remember this. Selfish people don't care about you unless you're doing something for them, right? Facts on facts, right? Shout out to Coach Warren Sapp, new Coach Warren Sapp. He will be joining the staff, Coach Prime said. People will throw stones at you. Don't throw them back. Collect them and build an empire. Bruh. Oh, yeah, then he shared my thing. I appreciate that, Coach Prime, for even sharing stuff from myself. Thank you so much. Then you go on to say, let me see. Where's that cryptic post? Gunnar Sanders. I bet he fast. He a Sanders. I bet he fast. All right. Why we never really see this kind of stuff? The high school class is ranked 98th and last in the new 16-team Big 12. I said this earlier, in part because of the low numbers. However, the Buffs' average player rating is 93, leads the Big 12, and ranks second nationally behind Georgia. So we're bringing in the quality of players that Georgia would bring in, just not in the abundance and the masses that Georgia have brought in, right? It happens. And when everything pans out at the end of the day, dang, Tyreek Hill, when everything pans out at the end of the day, I think we'll be fine. All right. Let me see if I can get to what I wanted to get to. Shout out to Cam Silman Craig with the UAB Blazers jersey on. You know what I'm talking about? That thing cold-blooded, and he got his necklace back. I think that Blazers jersey might be his girlfriend jersey, but that's clean right there. Clean as a whistle. I wish I had one of those. You know? Real quick, let me see what Bubba does.
Just don't forgot how to play.
On my Lakers. I got to get to that later. I'll get to that later. I'm trying to get to that Coach Prime real quick. Shout out to Cordell Stewart. I saw him in Pasta J's out there on Pearl Street. Shout out to Cordell. Big Slash. Can't find what I was looking for, but I like this kid right here, Dozie Wonkwo. Y'all check him out if you haven't already. But as far as Jordan Seaton goes, let me pull this up from Brian Howell on the Buffs Zone. BuffZone.com. Check them out. But yeah, Colorado hasn't landed the big fish in the recruiting pond yet, as this report says. But the Buffaloes added a whole bunch of talent on Wednesday. On the first day of the early signing period, CU inked 5 high school recruits on national letters of intent and announced 16 transfers. What CU didn't do was sign Jordan Seaton, of course, the number 1 rated offensive tackle in the class of 2024 out of IMG Academy in Florida, with more than 30 scholarship offers in hand, including from many of the elite teams in the country. The 6'5", 295-pound Seaton made national TV appearances to announce his verbal commitment to CU on December the 7th. A social media post on Tuesday from Seaton indicated he was still debating his final choice. By Wednesday afternoon, 247 Sports projected that Seaton would sign with Maryland. He played his first 3 years of high school football in the Washington, D.C. area before going down to Bradenton, Florida to IMG Academy. By Wednesday evening, Seaton had not signed with anyone, meaning CU still has a chance. The early signing period ends Friday, tomorrow, and Seaton is expected to sign a national letter of intent by then. While the recruiting world waits for Seaton's decision, CU was busy announcing 21 new players, including a small but talented group of high school recruits. As of Wednesday evening, CU had the number 1 rated transfer portal class. Some people say number 2, but that's been, according to 247 Sports, just ahead of Ole Miss. The high school class is ranked 98th and last in the new 16-team Big 12, as I said earlier, after overhauling nearly the entire roster in its first offseason as CU's head coach. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, said the approach would be different this time around. And I quote, he said, "You had to just fill up the kitchen." Like I said, you just had to fill up the kitchen last year, Sanders said. In late November, old Mother Hubbard went into the cupboard and there wasn't nothing there. So we had to fill the kitchen up with everything, dog. He also went on to say, now it's more directed and more accurate on, okay, we need 3 of those. We need 2 of those. We need 1 of these, dog. That's pretty much how we're going at it. We know what we want to have, and we know what we're going to get. I promise you that. In the more recent interview on 247sports.com, Sanders said, we have 2 priorities right now. We're going to run the football. We're going to stop the run, and we're going to protect junior quarterback Shedeur Sanders. That's 3 things. Or maybe you put stopping the run and run the ball as 1. But to do those things, the Buffs need to get better in the trenches, of course, and that's been a heavy priority. Of the 21 players announced Wednesday, 4 are offensive linemen and 7 are either defensive linemen or edge defenders. The Buffs also added weapons in the passing game, 5 wide receivers and a tight end, a pair of quarterbacks with college experience, a veteran defensive back, and a running back. Coach Prime has often reiterated that the majority of the class would come through the transfer portal, but Wednesday's haul of prep signees was smaller than expected. Yeah. Colorado had 9 high school players committed, including Seaton. Three others were taken off the CU commitment list Wednesday, including edge Amontre Bradford, who signed with Georgia Tech instead. Oh, now to everybody out there listening in, let me know what y'all thinking about this. This is an article from buffzone.com, and we're talking about those who did sign. The Buffs got 3 4-star recruits in Brandon Davis Swain, West Bloomfield, Michigan, Cameron Michael, Statesboro, Georgia, and Draylon Miller on Silsbee, Texas, as well as 2 3-star recruits in Eric Brantley, Valdosta, Georgia, and Micah Welch from Baldwin, Georgia. All right. In the 247 Sports database, which goes back to 2000, Miller is the 8th highest rated player ever to sign with Colorado and the highest rated receiver. Michael is the 2nd highest rated receiver ever signed by the Buffs. A former Texas A&M commit, Miller had 3 1,000-yard seasons and also rushed for nearly 800 yards in his prep career. That's why a lot of people compare him to Deebo Samuel. You can line him up in the backfield, behind the quarterback, or next to the quarterback, or even in the slot at wide receiver. So, Michael is an athlete who played quarterback, running back, and cornerback, but is projected as a wide receiver with the Buffs. Davis Swain is the highest rated edge player signed by CU since Nick Casa in 2009. A former Notre Dame commit, he posted 50 career sacks. Wow. The 2nd most in Michigan high school history for any division. Brantley recorded 34 sacks and 108 tackles for loss in his 3 seasons of varsity football. He gets in that backfield, big dog. Welch ranks as one of the top 60 running backs in the country, and in 19 games during his last 2 seasons of high school, he rushed for over 2,200 yards and 24 touchdowns, averaging 6.7 yards per carry. Shout out to the Buff Zone, who has previously reported on each of the transfer additions, but CU officially announced that all 15 have signed their financial aid agreements. Those agreements are not binding for the player, so they could be recruited by other schools until they enroll at CU. It's a nasty game out there, dog. The transfer group includes 4 offensive linemen who were starters at FBS schools, including Khalil Benson at Indiana, Tyler Johnson at Houston, Justin Mayers at UTEP, and Jakiri Walker at Connecticut. The leading receiver from Vanderbilt, Will Shepard, and the top end at the tight end, should I say, at Cincinnati, Shamon Mayterry on offense. On defense, the Buffs signed a trio of experienced, productive front 7 defenders in Chidozie Nwankwo out of Houston, Samuel Okunola out of Pittsburgh, should I say, and Keaton Wade out of Kentucky, a defensive end, a defensive starter from undefeated Liberty, Preston Hodge, as I get a call coming in right now. Oh, I'm getting ready to go on. Shout out to denversportsbetting.com. I'm getting ready to go on there. I'll pull this up so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Getting ready to do an interview on there at the 30-minute mark. So I just wanted to come on here because I was an hour early because of my time. So I'm thinking something else. Check this out.
We want to win now, right? Yeah. I don't mind putting high school kids in the microwave and letting them warm up a little bit. I don't mind that.
Y'all hear
But
that?
you got to understand what you really get out of that. You're looking to do some things right now, like what we need for Shador. We know where to find it. It ain't hard to find.
What percentage of those additions this offseason do you expect to come from the transfer portal?
A plethora. We want to win now, right? Yeah. I don't mind putting high school kids in the microwave and letting them warm up a little bit. I don't mind that. But you got to.
Y'all hear Coach Prime, right? I don't mind putting kids in the microwave, let them warm up now. You know what I'm talking about? I don't mind that. Coach Prime says Warren Sapp will join the Colorado Buffaloes staff, of course. I think so. Let me see here. What is Denver Sports Betting? I'm going to shout out real quick. Y'all check this out if you haven't already. Denver Sports Betting. We're here to have some fun, make some bets, and cash some checks. The Denver Sports Betting Radio Show, 98.1 FM, Thursdays, 6 to 7 p.m. That's what I'll be on today. Y'all check that out. Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. The show will come on, but we're recording today. Oh, now.
The championship parade.
All right, y'all know what to do, man. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. Let me know how you checking in. Let me know what y'all think. The interview coming up next. I guess I'll post it when I can post it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to post it immediately, but that's what we're doing, man. I appreciate everybody up in here. 615 people. How many likes can we get? Can we run them likes up one time if you haven't already? Shout out to the super chat that just came through. DMV Doll. It's disappointing as a fan when you're told there's going to be fireworks and nothing happens. Expectation was set but not met. That's when backlash happens. Well, that's subjective, so to speak. If you say fireworks are to happen and then you obviously see that the number one guy doesn't sign during that time, or at least during the first day, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. But if he doesn't sign during the first day, I don't think you should be panicking. He didn't sign with anybody else. You know, don't panic, dog. Just everybody just chill. Because I think that eventually the guy will come around and sign with Colorado. That's just my thought. If he goes somewhere else, then, you know, technically those are fireworks. But as far as being open about things, yeah, you see, you can't be absolute and say that this is going to happen, or we know that this guy's going to sign here, because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with humans, you're dealing with man, and they always will, you know, if you have expectations for them, you know, eventually you'll get let down, right? It just happens like that. So don't hang your hat on every word that someone might say, but you can listen to and read between the lines also. If someone says that big things going to happen, they're probably expecting big things to happen, but you can't say, you know, it's going to absolutely happen. Example, I got a call yesterday, you know, a text yesterday saying, hey, I'm going to come on to your show in a few minutes. And then it doesn't happen. You know, am I going to be like, oh, man, you wrong for that? I'm going to cry. No, I'm going to say, you know what? Life happens. I understand the guy's a busy person. It could have easily, you know, I could have easily had the intentions to come on your show and then bam, something happens. We work in the emergency room. We work in the newsroom. We work in the fire department. We go when things happen. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the commitments go, what happened? We got some good guys. If you're looking at what I'm saying, we're ranked behind Georgia as far as the rankings go for the guys we did bring in. Do y'all want to just bring in a bunch of guys, or you want to bring in the right guys? We explained to you that last year we brought in a bunch of guys. This year we're bringing in exceptional quality guys, and we're taking our pick, deliberately, and we're bringing those guys. Okay, we don't need that. We need this. Okay, bring that in. All right, we can let him go, and we can bring him in. I think he fits better, not him. We had a commitment from him earlier, but we're bringing in this guy now, so that could X out his commit. So if he does want to commit, cool, let him go. And it works like that, musical chairs, so to speak. And if one guy leaves, then another one's coming. Believe it. And we probably knew that the guy was leaving before the public knew that the guy was leaving. So as far as Jordan Seaton goes, I think the kid is just taking his time and go and relaxing. I'm glad to see your star rising, Chico. Really? I appreciate it. Trying to. And somebody said 5 kids, just 5 kids. We only got 5 kids, dog. Why we only got 5 kids? Well, those 5 kids are, I'm going to show this to you guys real quick before I get up out of here. Let me show this real quick. Let me share this. What is that, ESPN? Yeah. All right, so share this. Oh, I'll just tell it to you. How about that? We got 24 commits, 4 ESPN top 300s, other 20, 1 5-star commit, that's Jordan Seaton, 4 3-star commits, and or 3 4-star commits, and then 4 3-star commits. So that includes Jordan Seaton, 5-star, Draylon Miller, 4-star, Cam Michael, 4-star, Brandon Davis Swain, 4-star. Okay, that's 3 4-stars right there. That puts our grade very high. Then you got Eric Brantley, highly rated, 3-star out of high school. Omar White, 3-star. Zycar Lewis, he's not there. Michael Welch, 3-star. I think Omar White is not there also. So then you go to Khalil Benson, Justin Mayers, Terrell Timmons, Tyler Johnson, Yakari Walker, Will Shepard, all former starting guys. Other than Terrell Timmons, who just has exceptional potential through the roof. Keaton Wade made some plays at outside linebacker for Kentucky, played against a high level of talent in the SEC. Cordell Russell, highly rated out of high school. Destin Wade, Walter Taylor, and Quinn Barnes, the big fella recruited by Charles Kelly at Alabama. Samuel Okunlola, Chizzy Wankwo, who's a hell of a run stopper, he's in there. Preston Hodge, a scrappy defensive back out of undefeated Liberty University. We got some guys who can play, and guess what? We got plenty more coming. Hold your horses, and you shall see what's going on. Big Dog Chico, check into this and let us know what's going on. Florida State has called emergency meeting for Friday morning. Are they going to boycott the playoffs or leaving the ACC? Good question. I'll probably boycott that thing. I probably boycott it. Because probably a lot of their big top players are like, listen, we don't want to play in this, man. We went undefeated. Why are we not in the playoffs? If we're not in the playoffs, we don't want to play, dog. Forget risking injury for what? A bowl game? Forget that. Big Dog, what about Big Ruben? I like Big Ruben. He still has not committed anyway. Exactly. So that young bull, I think, is still a potential to come to Colorado, which means that, when Big Shaq and the other guy doesn't come, that's fine. And I also think, last note, you saw Big Shaq, the recruit, throw his Colorado hat and then put on the Oregon hat. I'd be damned if a guy like, what's his name, Dan Lanning, doesn't say stuff, hey, man, we'll give you an extra $10,000 if you throw the hat when you do your recruit, when you do your announcement. Just throw the hat and we'll give you an extra $10,000. Throw the hat, we'll give you an extra $1,000. Just throw the hat, we'll give you an extra $1,000. Throw the hat online. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. Jordan Seaton taking his time. I don't think it's a huge problem, as a lot of people are, got their panties in the bunch right now, so to speak. So yeah, a lot of drama going on. A lot of people who like to see that type of stuff may be happy right now. Who knows? And who cares? But we're getting ready to go on right now with the sports betting show, Denver sports betting show to be exact. Y'all check it out when you get a chance. 98.1 on your FM dial if you're in the Colorado area. You feel me? Sucks the high school, the highest rated recruit we had. Flaking is all good. Now we riding with Coach Prime. RWCP in the chats. RWCP in the chats. We're riding with Coach Prime. You feel me? Up until then, Run them likes up. All right. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah.